guys, it's Bethany with American Made Home Solutions, and it's Win Wednesday. For those of you that are actively serving our military, or for those of you who have served in the past, for those of you that are married to military service personnel, or had a parent who was a military personnel, this month we are devoting all of our videos and education to you. Why you? Because you, what is the best thing that we could say? I don't even know that we could sum it up into one word, but you have sacrificed greatly to benefit so many others. And although you may not have been the person maybe that lost their life or even got wounded, but the spouse of a service member sacrifices just as much. The children of a service member sacrifice just as much. It's just in a different way. And so we here at American Made Home Solutions are actively devoting everything this month to you and helping you guys and give you as much education as possible to have as much success in your finances as you possibly can. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss any of our videos this entire month. So what are some of the benefits of the VA loan? So the VA loan, you can have $0 down. You can actually put $0 down and get into a VA loan. It'll also cap out your closing costs. So they put a limit on how much can be charged to you. So title and escrow companies and things, they put a cap on it, and either the seller has to pick those up or they have to agree to not charge extra fees and things of that nature. Also, they have a much more rigorous inspection process. So because of that, it guarantees that your inspector does a very good job, but it also ensures that the things that you need to make sure you're getting a good home for your family are taken care of. So for instance, if the inspector comes across something and doesn't seem like it's a big deal to the seller, maybe it's a deck railing, the VA might say, sorry, we're not going to fund it unless you fix it. Well, if the seller really wants to sell their house, they'll fix it, but not everybody wants to do that. So sometimes it's a matter of having that power of negotiation. And the VA loan with their inspections has that as a tool to your advantage. They also have an opportunity for you to continue taking advantage of this benefit multiple times over the lifetime of you and surviving spouses. So if you get killed in combat or something of that along those lines, your spouses can still take advantage of them. That's huge, guys. That is something that you want to be able to continue to take advantage of and benefit your family. You're providing for them even from the grave. That is a major, major accomplishment that only military people get to take advantage of. And we want you to take advantage of it. But so many people are afraid to take advantage of it because they don't know how. They don't know how to get started. So one of the best things I can let you know is if you're looking to buy a property, don't walk into the local bank and ask them, because they're only going to tell you what their product is. So your best bet is to go with what's called a mortgage broker. When you go with a mortgage broker, they have multiple contracts with multiple banks, so they offer much more. Now, a mortgage broker is generally more versed about the VA loan as an individual product. And then they'll tell you, well, this bank does this, where this one does this. Even though it's still the same VA loan, they'll be able to tell you those differences. So if your situation is unique, or even if it's not unique, if it's just textbook, they'll be able to find a better fit for you. Where if you just walk into Chase Bank, they're only going to tell you what products they offer. And if those don't fit for you, well, then you may think you don't qualify. But that's really not the case. You just don't fit their products. And we want you to take advantage of all that you have to gain from that. The VA loan is a huge benefit to you guys, and many folks are just completely unaware about it. One of the benefits that active and military personnel have is access to the VA loan. Now, it doesn't benefit you if you don't use it. So many people don't stop to think about this because maybe they're single, or maybe they don't have a family yet, or maybe they don't know where they want to settle down. So in their mind, a house is like a permanent thing, and they're not really in that place where they want to be permanent. But I would like to expand your mind a little bit and think a little bit beyond that. Because one thing that military families always deal with is potential injuries. If you're injured, you cannot no longer keep working, and those damages could be pretty extensive. So it doesn't always matter that you're in good shape and good health now. Down the road, you may not be. And I know you love your family and you want to take care for them. But I also know some of you are single. You don't even have a family yet. So you're thinking, I don't need a house, I'm good. You may not need a house for you. I want you to start thinking about it from a much broader perspective. A house is an asset. And so cars, vehicles, those are liabilities. But a real estate house, that's an asset. So one of the best things that you can do if you are in the military or have served in the military is purchase real estate. Now, I know many of you guys are aware that if you live on base housing is included. So you don't pay any rent. So that's a great perk. But sometimes the base housing isn't that great. Or sometimes there's no base housing at all. It's totally full. In which case you need to live off site. Well, rather than say renting an apartment somewhere, you could buy a condo. The great thing about that is you get probably the same amount of space, maybe even more, but you gain an asset. Or you buy a small house, what we call starter homes. You don't need to buy a big, gigantic 6-bedroom, 4-bath. You don't need any of that. You could buy a starter home. And then oftentimes you're stationed on one base for roughly 3 years. So during that 3-year time, the military pays you when you're living off site and you get a stipend, that housing stipend. Well, if you put that towards the property, then again, you're still gaining because now you have an asset and the military is helping you pay for that asset. What a blessing that can be. Now it gets even better. Your duty station changed. Now you get sent somewhere else. And now maybe you get sent to Amarillo, Texas. Again, it may not be where you want to be your forever home, but we're not talking about forever. We're talking about building out your financial resources so that 2 things. 1, if you ever do get injured, you have additional income coming in. And 2, to protect and care for your family or your future family or just your loved ones. Many of you have nieces or nephews, brothers and sisters that they have families that they're not in a position to do anything like this, but you are. And smart, amazing aunt or uncle that you are, you could actually put these properties in their name as well so that they're the beneficiary. If anything happens to you, they inherit it. Now, let's get back to what happens. You keep the first property that you got, that you moved into. Say it's up in Washington State, but now you're in Amarillo, Texas. Rent this one out. If you're really smart and you got a house when you were living up in Washington, you rented it out to your buddies. They rented 2 or 3 of the other bedrooms, right? Well, now you just got to fill 1 more bedroom. Easy peasy. Then you go to El Paso. Again, you pick up another home. You still use that VA loan when you do. 0 money down. They keep the closing costs down. All the other benefits are still there. The safety and protections are still there for you. No PMI, private mortgage insurance, penalties, nothing like that. So it's a great program. You find another place. Again, maybe it's another starter home. Maybe you're still single, still have no family. Rent those rooms out. Now you've got other buddies living in the barracks. They'd rather live in your place and you're all sharing the cost, but you're gaining the asset. Okay? Follow me, keep going. Now you have rent coming in. So all these guys, these friends of yours are up in Washington, they're paying for you to get an asset. Somebody else is paying your bill. Yes, that's called wisdom. Then you're in Amarillo. Now you have somebody else, especially if you have 3 bedrooms and you're renting out 2 of them, oftentimes they might be able to cover the whole mortgage. So you still could be living rent-free. Especially with the stipend that you're getting from living off base. So then maybe you get stationed again. Now maybe you're in Connecticut and you meet your forever person. And when you meet that person, now you're ready to buy a home because you're ready to start that family. You're renting out your Washington home. You're renting out your Amarillo, Texas home, right? El Paso, wherever I sent you to. You're renting them both out. They're both being paid for by somebody else. And sometimes you might even have an extra 200 to 300 from each of those to just keep banking and just keep putting away and socking away and socking away. Well, now you get a starter home for you and your new family up in Connecticut. And then your duty station gets changed again. Well, then you move to another place, but now your family's growing. So now you don't need a starter home, you need a little bit better home. Now you have 1, 2, 3 properties, all of which you put tenants in because you're very smart, and you put these tenants in there. They're all paying down the mortgage for you, but now you have assets on your balance sheet. So when you need to go get to a bigger home, bigger than a starter home, it doesn't necessarily matter that your wages aren't as high because you have income coming in from these other properties, and your assets show a lot stronger to the bank. So then you're able to get into that, say maybe your forever home, or at least for right now, for the next 3 years home, whatever that looks like for you. But if you don't take advantage of this VA loan and you don't ask more questions and you don't ask more people, then it doesn't do you any good. And that's what we want to do, is we want to be a blessing to you, our military personnel, and we want to teach you everything that we possibly can to help you get the best leg up. That is the least that we can do in response for all of the service that you have done for us. Now, I know you didn't directly do it for me or my company, but you have done it for me as a nation. And one of the best things that I know that I can do is to be a blessing to you, because you are the kind of person that makes a difference in our world, and we want to do whatever we can to continue that. There's so much misinformation out there in regards to the VA loan, not because it's hard or complicated, but just because the people promoting or giving out that information have a different agenda. So remember, bankers are in the business of making money. So what they do as a bank is they may offer the VA loan, but then they can also add on other things that some people are unaware of. And because of that, it will provide more money for them into their pocket. So oftentimes a banker will be the one telling you, oh no, a VA loan, you can't do that. Oh no, you can't do this. No, VA loans can only do this. But in reality, it's not the VA loan can't do any of those items. Instead, it's actually that their bank won't let you do that. So you can actually ask those exact same questions, go to a different bank, and they might do it. Because again, a VA loan is simply a product, and the banks are allowed to do things individually to it. So although Walmart, Kohl's, Ross may sell the exact same item, they're all different prices. Does that change the item? No, the item is still the exact same thing, manufactured by the exact same place. It's simply tagged with a different price and a different label from that store. So it doesn't change the product, right? Your VA loan is an amazing benefit that we want every military person to take advantage of. Now, I also want you to know that you have access to it for life. Some people think, there's another myth, you can only access it when you're active duty. Not true. You have access to it for life. So even when you've gotten out of the military, you can still do it. So many of you who have retired from the military, okay, so here's something I want you to be thinking about. Some of you want to be a snowbird and you want to go down to Florida or Arizona in the wintertime, but you have a house in Washington. So you don't always understand how you could go about getting another house. So that's the easy part. The easy part is you simply buy the other property. Now the difference here is you have to learn how to play the game. Play the game better. The game is still going to be there. The VA loan is still going to be there. Markets and banks are still going to be out there making money, doing their thing. So you need to learn how to play the game better. If your plan is to go live at this property 6 months of the year and then come back here 6 months of the year, well then technically you're just applying for a new loan from the VA for the property that you're moving to. You just happen to be moving to it in the winter time or whatever months you plan on being there. And then you're there 6 months and 1 day. Now you satisfy that. Now, so different banks will tell you, oh no, you have to be there 12 months. Look it up. In the VA loan, that's not the case. So most lenders actually only have 6 months and 1 day. So they may require you to occupy the residency. That means you can't rent it out. They may require you to be the one that's occupying it. But if you're the one that is going to be occupying it, then you're meeting that requirement as well. So don't think that just because you're out of the military, you can't use this great benefit and go get another home that you need to live in, because let's face it, we're not getting any younger, and winters can be harsh, especially if you're in Minnesota or any of them. There is so much misinformation out there that oftentimes what happens is we take it as gospel. How many times do you walk into a bank and you talk to a loan specialist for that particular bank telling you if you qualify for a loan? But what they're not telling you is that it's only based on their qualifications. You may qualify for a loan somewhere else with a different bank, but with them, they're not. And they're not really pointing that out. So instead, you just walk out of there feeling like maybe you don't qualify for a loan at all. Or maybe the whole process sounds so painful and so horrible that you don't even want to start the process. Oftentimes, we're filtering information that's coming to us based on our situation at that moment or the information that was provided. But we don't necessarily have all the facts. So this month, we want to dispel a lot of myths about the VA loan in particular. One of the biggest myths about the VA loan in particular is that you can't have more than one loan. That is 100% not true. So every time you buy a house and then you move to another place, nobody says or demands that you have to sell that property, but you might have moved in with a VA loan. Well, some lenders want you to, so they'll tell you, oh no, you need to sell that one first and then you can qualify for another VA loan, because that's what they want you to do. But that's not really the truth. You can have multiple VA loans at the exact same time. So this leads me to the next myth that is often told. You can't have investment properties with a VA loan. Another common myth that many people have heard or repeated multiple times is that you cannot use a VA loan for a construction loan or for a new build, which is 100% not true. So for instance, if you came into an area and you found a property that the property just needs to be tore down, you can absolutely get in a construction loan with your VA loan to tear that down and rebuild a new house. 100% highly possible, and not everybody knows how to do that. So because they don't know how to do that, oftentimes you'll hear people just say, oh no, that's not possible. When in fact it is possible, they just don't know how. So sometimes if you want a different answer, you got to ask a different question or ask a different person. So from all of us here at American Made Home Solutions, we want to sincerely thank you for your service, for your family's sacrifice, and for your loved ones, and for not just the sacrifice of your own individual life, but your mental state, your willingness to go where we were not willing to go, your willingness to be separated from your families on holidays and birthdays when we were not. You mean a great deal to us, and we want to honor you this entire month of September. So because of that, we're offering specials on all of our products. On our personal credit, on our business credit, and our business foundations, we're offering special to all military personnel, active or veterans at that point. And so if that's you and you're interested, then you're going to want to click on the link below. We have a personal credit product. We have a business credit if you've already started a business or you're looking to start a business and you're wanting to build business credit and maybe get it off your personal and onto business credit. We also have a business foundations. If you're looking to start your own business, we want to help you get started. Simple. It's a simple step process. Doesn't matter what state you're in. We've laid it all out for you. It's DIY, super simple. Follow the steps, get it done. Here's the links, here's this, all of that, easy peasy. And we want to give a special to all of our military personnel. So for the month of September, all of our military personnel get 25% off of all of our products and services. Now that includes our business credit, which is our most popular product, and that 25% goes a long way when you see the price tag normally of our business credit, because that takes time and it takes effort on both parts. But we also have not just a DIY, but we have a done for you product where we're willing to do the work for you. It just costs a little bit more because obviously we're the ones doing it. So either way, we want to extend that offer to you, 25% off all of our products. So what I suggest first, click on the link below. When you click on the link below, set up a free 30-minute consultation with me. When you do, we're going to figure out what's the best fit for you. Do you need to understand your VA benefits and learn how to buy real estate? Do you need help with credit, business or personal? Do you need to start a business? Whatever that is, that's what this 30-minute consultation is for. We'll jump on a call with you. We'll walk through your situation unique to you, and we will take that time and give back to you even just a small fraction of what you've given to us. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much for your dedication and your sacrifice. Thank you to all the family members who also have sacrificed and continue to sacrifice daily without being near their loved ones, or sometimes with dealing with the ramifications of loved ones coming home injured or dealing with things like PTSD. Thank you to you as well. We hope that we can just be a small speck of return of gratitude to you guys and for all that you have done for us.